everyone, it's Mandy. Thanks so much for joining me today for another process video. I'm working on a layout for the Felicity Jane Creative Team today, and I'm working with the beautiful Jeana kit. And I'm so excited because this kit is named after Jeana, who is the talented lady behind Felicity Jane. She's the one who started this kit club about 3 years ago, I think, and it has just grown so much in that time, and I'm so happy for her because she just creates such beautiful kits every month for us to create beautiful projects with. And I think there's really something about her kits. They're very sophisticated and classy, and I think they just make it so easy to create beautiful projects with them. And so I'm excited that this month the kit is named after her. And if you've been following along with Felicity Jane, you might know that Jeana has just relocated back to Arizona, which is where she originally came from, and she's also moved Felicity Jane headquarters back there as well. So Felicity Jane has been on a little bit of a hiatus for a couple of months, so we haven't had any new kits over the last 2 months, but I've quite enjoyed digging back through what I have left over from some of my older kits and using those up as well. But I'm so excited to be playing with this new kit, and I absolutely love it. The colours in it are just gorgeous. There's some beautiful soft pastel colours. You can see there in the papers on the left hand side of the screen there's some beautiful soft pinks and aquas, but there's also some really nice deep colours like that green and that yellow, which really complement the softer colours. I love it. I love the contrast of those colours next to one another. And so this week on the blog, the creative team are showcasing projects that feature pattern papers and tassels. And so I thought a great way that you can showcase lots of pattern papers on a layout is to use a cut file. So I've chosen this one by Paige Evans. It's available in the Silhouette Design store, and it's also available if you are part of Paige's Facebook group. She often shares free cut files in that group, and so you can grab it there as well. And so I've cut it out of white cardstock, and you can see there that I've just backed it with some of those patterned papers from the collection. So I've tried to keep the colours quite soft on this layout, but I will have a few pops of that darker green and yellow as well. And so the photo that I'm documenting today is of my eldest daughter, Abby, and I just love it. It's a recent photo of her. She's just turned 14, and when I look at this photo, it just makes me realise how quickly she's growing up. She's really becoming a young lady, and but I'm just, I'm a little bit sad about that because she's growing up so fast. But at the same time, I'm so proud of her and the beautiful person that she is. And so I wanted to create this layout to really document that and how I feel about where she is at the moment. And so I did print the photo out in 2 different sizes because I wasn't sure which size was going to work best with the cut file, and I do end up going with that smaller one just because the cut file is quite large and takes up a large portion of the page. I just needed to have the photo a little bit smaller so that it didn't get too crowded, because I did want to bring in some of those beautiful embellishments from the collection as well. And so for my background, I'm using one of the other patterned papers from the collection. It's that beautiful soft pink one, and I'm not sure if you can see it in this video, but it's got some really tiny white dots on it. And so I thought that would be a really nice soft background. I often work on white cardstock as my background, but sometimes when there's a nice soft or subtle patterned paper, I like to use that as my background as well, and I thought that really helped the cut file to stand out as well. So I've also fussy cut some of those floral clusters out of the floral patterned paper. One of the things I love about the Felicity Jane kits is that there's always beautiful florals in the kits, and there's always a patterned paper that features those florals, and more often than not it's perfect for fussy cutting. I love fussy cutting. You might know that if you've followed along with my videos before. And so, of course, I had to fussy cut some to use on this page. And so you can see that I'm going to have some there over on the left, and to balance out that, I'll be having some in the bottom right-hand corner of the page there as well, just tucked under the edge of the cut file. And so you saw there when I adhered the cut file to my page, I used some foam tape, and I did that because I really wanted it to have some nice dimension on the page, and it just gives a nice shadow effect. And I just really like having things, you probably know if you've followed along with me, I like to have some elements on the page raised up, and just to give them a little bit more dimension. And so I've positioned my photo there up in the top left-hand corner of the page. And the reason I did that was because in the photo, my daughter Abby is looking down and sort of towards the right. And so I often like to do that. I position my photo so that the person in the photo, if they're not looking directly at the camera, they're sort of looking into the layout rather than off the layout. So if I had positioned it on the right-hand side of the page, she would be looking off the page. But where I have it there, she's sort of looking down at, and it kind of gives the effect that she's looking at the other things on the page, which she's not, obviously, but I like the look of that. And so I've pulled out some of the die cuts from the collection as well, and I'm going to tuck that floral die cut under the letter A there at the top of the page. And I've also added a journaling spot there on the right hand side of the page, and I'm going to add some typed journaling to that. So I'm starting to get things stuck down now because I'm liking how this is looking. I've also added a few of those hexagon die cuts, and they just kind of add that smaller element to the page. Just one of those, finishing touches, those little details that just sort of make a page look finished. And so here you can see that I'm bringing the tassels in, and so I'm just sort of tucking them under that floral cluster on the left, and I've attached them. I threaded some white embroidery floss through them, and then I've tucked that up underneath that floral cluster so that they look like they're dangling there. And now I've typed up my journaling on my typewriter, and I cut it up into some small strips to add to that journaling spot there, and I'm just sticking it down with some narrow double-sided tape. And once I have done that, then I will be all finished. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please go and check out this kit in the Felicity Jane shop. I have a link below if you would like to go and have a look. And I will be back soon with another video. So I will look forward to seeing you then. And until then, take care. Bye.